Hey, what's going on, guys? Today a very special unboxing. We're going to be taking a look at the high resolution model Wing Gundam Zero EW. This is the second in the high resolution model line after the Barbatos, and now we have the upcoming Astray Red frame coming out soon as well. But this is a kit that I've been going back and forth on since we first saw it announced. There's aspects of the design that I really love, most of the design. There's a few aspects that I'm not quite sure I'm completely sold on, but the more I see of like people's painted builds of this kit, I think that the kit is just looking really nice. So I just finally had the chance to pick up one, and so I did. So I just want to thank USA Gundam Store for sponsoring this review, guys. Do check out the link to USA Gundam Store down below. This is an expensive kit, I'm going to be honest. It's quite pricey, but with my coupon code at USA Gundam Store, ZakuAurelius 10, you can get it for 10% off, so check that out. And let's check this out because I'm really curious to see what this kit is going to be like, what the line is going to be like, because it's a very unique line. And so, first of all, the box art is very cool, featuring a photograph of the actual kit, which is not something that they usually use. Usually they'll, of course, have like some painted artwork or some illustration, of course, for the front of the box. But in this case, they're just showcasing the actual kit, so that it shows you kind of like how confident they are and how the kit looks. And it's actually just like a completely unpainted, no panel lining or anything, no decals or anything added. It's just like the kit just looks like it's just snapped up straight out of the box, and that's it. And they're using that for like the main image right on the front of the box as like the key selling point. So that means they've got a lot of faith in how this kit is going to look straight out of the box. But either way, the box art is very striking for fans of the Wing Gundam Zero or the Wing Zero Custom, as a lot of us in the US know it. Then this should get you pretty excited. On the top and bottom of the box here, you can see just a slightly different pose, but again, it's just kind of the same thing with the title and everything there. On the side of the box, also kept pretty simple. It's just the high resolution logo there on both sides, with just the front artwork just wrapping around to the sides of the box. But here on the back of the box is where they've got all the details. So up at the top, we've got some detail images showing some details of the inner frame as well as details of the armor, talking about the gloss injection and matte finish. So it's got some parts that are gloss injected, some parts that are matte finished. I believe this has some parts that are plated too. The gold, I believe, is all plated gold. And up here in the corner, you can also see what just the inner frame is going to look like by itself there as well. Over here, it's talking about the armor expansion, showcasing the Zero system activated state, and a multi-layer structure adds beauty to action poses. So yeah, it's got an inner frame and very separated armor there, so you can see the inner frame. And a really cool, of course, very iconic Wing Zero custom pose there in the center. One cool thing that I'm just now noticing about this is that it actually has these like red wires which will go around from the backpack, under the backpack, around into the Buster rifles there. So that's pretty cool. That's definitely also a unique feature to this kit. And then this kit does also have a bird mode there, and it looks pretty cool. And it has a shield too, so I really like the shield for this kit. It's pretty cool. The bird mode, not so much. We'll take a look at that in the review, but I'm not really going to be utilizing that too much. As for the list price of this kit, as I said, it's expensive, 12,000 yen, so around $120 for this. As you can see, this is not a huge box. It's a 1/100 scale kit, so it's basically going to be the same scale as a master grade, and so it's basically the same size as a kind of typical master grade box. But that high price point is going to be coming from just the way that the kit is made. So if we slide this out, let's see what you can expect when you first open the box. We've got just runners in here. Basically, it's all looking pretty normal, except that we've got over here on this side, this special bit here, this high resolution model, just kind of this separate container. You can see there's some really cool like line art there of the inner frame of the Wing Gundam. So I think this is our inner frame. So yeah, sort of similar to a real grade. The inner frame is kind of pre-built, but in this case it's like even pre-assembled as well. There we go. Open up. These bits here on the top are for the wings. Take a look at that, and just here is our main inner frame. Now these darker shiny bits here are actually die-cast metal, if I remember correctly. That's actually what those are. As you can see, there's some nice detail in there. Most of this is going to be covered up, of course, but what we can see on here is multiple colors of gray, and that all is working pretty nicely, of course, with the die-cast parts being the most different color. We got what looks to be a clear green part there in for like the jewel in the chest, and then the eyes, which look like those are pre-painted on there. So whether that's like just some black and then just like some silver green, metallic green in there for the eyes, there's gonna be pre-painted on there. So even just like straight out of the box, you don't even have to paint or use a sticker for the eyes. That's got to be pretty nice. So everything else here, like I said, is just basically kind of just like a normal kit for the most part, it looks like. Well, let's check out the manual. Now, the manual is also smaller. This is interesting. It's like a smaller size for this manual. On the front, just a nice big image of the kit there. On the bottom, a lot of information in very, very fine print, but they're in Japanese and English. You can check that out. On the back, we got some more information about the Neo Bird mode, and then here just about the frame, and then the twin buster rifle and the connection cable for that as well. On the inside, it's just going to be pretty standard, like a regular master grade kit. We've got our parts list there. And then here we got some detail just about the frame, showing about like articulation for moving that. It says, check the range of movement first. So because the frame is all pre-built, they want you to just kind of like loosen it up a little bit. So it shows you how to bend the frame around a little bit just to get it like loosened up before you start putting all the armor and everything on it. So we're starting off with the chest armor here first. The chest armor, it's kind of cool how they show like how the bits are going onto that in this like visualization of that is pretty cool. And then onto the head armor there, going to be relatively simple. Head armor, and then the arm armor going on the left side and the right side there. And then the leg armor, left side and right side. And the waist armor, and then the wing units. The wing units also look really nice, and just kind of the way that those are put together. Pretty complex for the wings, so you're going to have a really nice structure to those. Kind of similar to the real grade, but they look even more complex than on the real grade, which will be pretty cool. And then the weapons, the Buster Rifle. And then after those are done, and then we have the shield. Again, new shield for this kit. I really quite like that. It looks pretty cool. And then just about how to mount those, how to hold those. It has like a handle on the top of the Buster Rifle. You can hold onto that handle there. That's pretty cool. That's kind of interesting. And then how to do the Twin Buster Rifle grip of that. So hopefully that's able to do that better than the Master Grade, which really struggles with that pose. And then how to attach the wire into that. And then Atmosphere Entry Mode. Atmosphere Entry Mode, I guess, is just where it's just like kind of closed up enough so that the wings close up around it like that. And then we have recreating the Neo Bird mode is how to transform it into the bird mode. So you can actually have a couple of different transformations built in with that. So, while simple, that is pretty cool that those are included. Alright, so let's get right into it. This kit has no polycaps, as well as no stickers, waterside decals, dry transfer decals, nothing like that, unfortunately. It really would have been cool if it would have come with at least some dry transfer decals, or ideally watersides, but it doesn't have any. We do have some beam effect parts here. These are the same beam effect parts from the original Master Grade, so these are old from 2000, but there's slightly curved, greenish color beam effect parts here for this. And then we have our wires for connecting the Buster Rifles into the backpack, just 2 red wires there. And then runner A is separated into 5 parts. So here's runner A1, which is our plated gold here. Obviously, as you can see, just a few little gold accent parts there for the shoulders and for the V-fin, of course. Runner A2 has some brownish color accent parts, looks like for probably weapons and little things like that. And then our clear green parts there for some cameras and all of that. Runner A3 is in just kind of a neutral gray color here. Obviously some parts there for the Buster Rifles and a couple parts there for the wings. Runner A4 is a few more parts along the same lines. And then runner A5 is a copy of runner A2, but with a lot less parts on it. So you can see compared to runner A2, they've just omitted a whole bunch of those parts. Runner B1 here is our red parts for the kit. And as you'll see, this is in a gloss coated plastic here. So I think on the box, I think it said it's like gloss injected. So maybe it's not coated, but it's that kind of plastic, kind of similar to the real grade Shinanju, where it's just a really high glossy plastic that they're using for this. So that's not too good. It does mean it's a little bit more brittle, I've found, with this kind of plastic. But then we have runner B2, which is a copy of this section of the runner here. Runner B3 is in a light gray color for, looks like probably mostly for the wings. And interesting to note too, that this is one of the few like parts for like the outer armor that is not glossy. This is just kind of a regular, kind of slightly matte finish to this. Then runner C1 is all our blue parts for the kit. It's in a very just standard bright like royal blue color. And then we've also got runner C2, which is a copy of this section of the runner up here. Obviously, if you can't tell, these are also in that high gloss plastic. Then we got runner D, which is a very large runner of white armor parts here, and it does look to be like slightly off-white. It's not like super bright white. It's got a little bit of a creamish to it, I think. So that's pretty nice. It does look nice. This is also in a very high gloss white plastic as well, so it's going to be very shiny. And we've got 2 of this D runner also. And then another big white runner here for runner E1, just a whole bunch more parts on there. Then we do also have runner E2, which is just like this one little tiny piece just off by itself. And then runner F1 is back to that non-glossy light gray color just for some more of the accents. So it'll be really cool how it'll have these non-glossy accents around on all of that, so that should look pretty nice on the finished product when this is all put together. And then we also got a runner F2, which is a copy of this half of the runner here. And finally, we've got runner G1. Now this is in a little bit darker gray. This is just kind of a standard neutral gray color. And this is for some more detail parts, hand parts, the back side of the shield. And then we do also have a runner G2 for this copy of this section of the runner here. Alright, so there we go. I have to say, my first impression of this is kind of mixed. Well, I feel like it does look super nice. It looks like it's going to be a really, really beautiful kit, straight out of the box even, without even doing too much to it. On the other hand, I feel like it's maybe a little bit unnecessary. Not unnecessary as a whole, like this kit shouldn't exist. That's not what I mean. Just there's a lot of unnecessary aspects to the kit. I feel like the die-cast parts for the inner frame is probably not really necessary. That adds a lot to the cost. All of the high gloss plastic I think is more expensive. That adds to the cost as well. The gold plated parts there, although it's not very many, there's just a few of those gold plated parts. All of these things which are going to drive up the cost of a kit, and anything that's going to be more costly is going to be less popular for people on a whole. And that's been kind of like my main criticism of this line in general, which is why I haven't gotten really into it until now. It's basically like you're having like a high-end figure, like a metal build kit, but it's something that you actually build yourself. And I think that could be appealing to some people, but I don't know. So I'm interested to see how this is going to come together. Like I said, based on painted builds that I've seen of this online already, I know that this kit has a lot of potential to look really, really beautiful. How it's going to look straight out of the box, though, I'm not too sure. I think it is going to look really nice. It is kind of disappointing, too, that the kit doesn't come with any stand. That's unfortunate, especially when you're paying that high price point. So at the moment, I'd say there's some very obvious pros and cons to this kit, but we'll just have to wait to see in the review if I think that it's really worth the price or not. I'll let you guys know what I think at that time. For now, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave any other further questions and comments you have down below. I'm sure you'll probably have maybe a lot of questions about this line, because as I've seen, these kits haven't really been covered all too much by a lot of reviewers on YouTube. So hopefully this video will be helpful for you guys if you're looking for more information about the line with the upcoming Astray Red frame coming out, which does look really quite nice. And I'm looking forward to that release as well. But we'll take a look at this and I'll let you know what I think. So thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the review. Bye-bye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.